The Galactic Council chambers fell silent as Dr. Sarah Chen stepped onto the crystalline platform, her worn leather boots clicking against the alien surface. Around her, representatives from 17 different species watched with expressions ranging from condescending amusement to outright hostility. The Vorthak delegation's tentacles writhed in what she had learned was their equivalent of laughter. "The primitive speaks," hissed Ambassador Zektar through his translation matrix, his reptilian features twisted in disdain. "Tell us, human, what grand delusion brings you before the council today?" Sarah adjusted her simple tablet computer, a device that had drawn snickers from the assembled aliens with their quantum processors and neural link interfaces. For 3 centuries, humanity had been the laughingstock of the galaxy. Their faster-than-light technology was crude, their energy sources inefficient, their understanding of physics supposedly centuries behind the galactic standard. "Honored representatives," Sarah began, her voice steady despite the weight of history pressing down on her shoulders. "I come before you today to present humanity's latest scientific breakthrough, one that fundamentally challenges our understanding of reality itself." The chamber erupted in a cacophony of alien sounds, clicks, whistles, and harmonics that the translation systems rendered as various forms of mockery. The ethereals, beings of pure energy who considered themselves the galaxy's supreme intellectuals, pulsed with colors that indicated their amusement. Silence. The booming voice of Chancellor Morden, the ancient titan who had ruled the council for millennia, brought order to the chaos. His massive form, carved from living stone, shifted forward. "Let the human speak her piece. We could all use some entertainment." Sarah's jaw tightened, but she maintained her composure. She had expected this reception. Humanity had been trying to prove itself worthy of true membership in the Galactic Council since first contact 300 years ago. They had been granted observer status, barely a step above the designation given to pre-spaceflight civilizations. "Our research team on Luna Station has been investigating quantum entanglement at scales previously thought impossible," Sarah continued, tapping her tablet. The device projected a simple hologram, crude by galactic standards but functional. "We discovered that consciousness itself creates localized violations in the fundamental constants of physics." The laughter died away gradually as the implications sank in. Dr. Vexahai of the Collective, a hive mind species that prided itself on perfect logical thinking, leaned forward with newfound interest. "Impossible," declared Professor Zilmoth, the galaxy's foremost theoretical physicist and a member of the hyper-advanced transcendent species. "The fundamental constants are exactly that, constant. Our mathematics prove this beyond question." "Your mathematics," Sarah replied with a slight smile, "assume that consciousness is separate from the physical universe. We've proven otherwise." She manipulated her tablet, and the holographic display showed a series of equations that looked deceptively simple compared to the elaborate mathematical constructs the other species employed. But as the assembled scientists examined them more closely, a disturbing pattern emerged. "These calculations suggest," whispered Dr. Vexhai, his collective consciousness struggling to process the implications, "that every sentient being creates a bubble of altered physics around themselves. That reality is subjective." "Not subjective," Sarah corrected. "Interactive. Consciousness doesn't observe reality. It participates in its creation. Your species have spent millennia developing technology that works despite consciousness, trying to eliminate the observer effect. We learned to work with it instead." The revelation sent shockwaves through the chamber. For eons, galactic civilization had pursued the ideal of objective, consciousness-independent technology. Their greatest achievements, from probability drives to quantum computers that existed in superposition, were specifically designed to function without conscious interference. "Demonstrate," Chancellor Morden commanded, his stone features unreadable. Sarah nodded and pulled out what appeared to be a simple metal cube. "This is a consciousness resonance drive. It doesn't fight quantum uncertainty. It embraces it. Watch." She placed the cube on the platform and closed her eyes, focusing her thoughts. The cube began to glow with an inner light, then simply ceased to exist in one location and appeared 20 meters away. Bypassing every law of physics the galaxy held sacred, the silence stretched for long moments. Then Professor Zilmoth spoke, his voice barely above a whisper. "How?" By accepting that the universe isn't a machine to be computed but a conversation to be joined, Sarah explained. Your species developed incredible technology by trying to eliminate the human element. We developed incredible technology by making the human element central to everything we build. The ethereals pulsed rapidly, their energy forms flickering as they processed this paradigm shift. The collective buzzed with internal debate. Even the stoic titans showed signs of agitation. For 3 centuries you've called us primitive, Sarah continued, her voice growing stronger. You've dismissed our intuitive approach to science as unrigorous, our emotional decision-making as inefficient, our stubborn individuality as a weakness. She gestured to the cube, which continued to flicker in and out of existence at her unconscious direction. But perhaps the universe itself is not as cold and mathematical as you believed. Ambassador Zektar's scales had turned a pale color that indicated deep distress. If this is true, if consciousness truly shapes reality at the quantum level, then everything we've built, everything we believe about the nature of existence, isn't wrong, Sarah assured him. Just incomplete. You've been playing the universe as a solo performance. We learned to make it a duet. Chancellor Morden rose slowly, his massive form casting shadows across the chamber. Dr. Chen of Earth, by the ancient laws of the Council, I hereby grant humanity full membership status and invite your species to share your knowledge with the galaxy. As the formal declaration echoed through the chamber, Sarah smiled. Humanity had finally found its place among the stars, not by abandoning what made them human, but by proving that their humanity was their greatest strength. The universe, it turned out, had been waiting for them all along.